Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. This is going to be a fun one for you and very informative, I think. So if you find value, go ahead and drop a like, sub if you're new, join the FBG fam. We're going to be creating Chaos Zero Nightmare videos extensively here on the channel, as well as hit the hype button somewhere around there. And when you find it, go ahead and hit it for me. It helps out this channel tremendously. With that being said, a huge, massive shout out and all the credit to Shizukira, a fellow Chaos Zero Nightmare content creator that I think you should follow and sub. They provided this spreadsheet that's going to help out the community tremendously. I value their opinion greatly, and so I wanted to go ahead and spread awareness to the spreadsheet because they put a lot of time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears into it, and I think it's going to help you out not only to start the game, but also to progress in the future, because not only are they going to have tier lists, but they're going to have in-depth information about partners that release updates, so you can stay up to date with which characters are going to be coming out, specific character guides as well. So this is all a work in progress. They're going to be updating it as we get into the game, but this is going to be so valuable for not only myself, but for the community as a whole. So once again, all the credit to Shizukira. I'm going to have this linked in the description down below, as well as their channel linked in the description down below. Show them some support. Go ahead and sub to their channel. Great content creating. And I hope to collab with them in the future as we progress through the game to be able to talk about the state of the game, characters, what we think about them, and things of that nature. So stay tapped in. It's going to be a really good time. Cannot wait for the official release on October 22nd. With that being said, we're going to do a fun one today. I want to go ahead and review their current tier list, and this is just based off of the playtest. Now, quick disclaimer, this is just for fun, not to be taken too seriously. This is based off of the playtest that we had limited times with these characters to be able to use them, right? But I'm curious to get their opinion on these combatants. I want to hear yours down in the comments below, and of course, I'm going to give mine and my two cents and my thoughts on it. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. So they have double S, the broken tier. No surprise, Khaleep is up there. Khaleep is far and away the best character in the game. Now, we do have to see what the balance changes might be. They did state that there might be some balance changes, or there will be. We have to see what those look like upon official release. That's why I don't take this too seriously, because this is definitely subject to change. But in the playtest, it was no contest. Khaleep was the best just because of the shield she provides, the AoE, the amount of damage she's doing, the way she gets her cards, the synergy with them. Incredible character, right? Not much to say about that. Now, Mika, I agree with this, and Mika's a free character, so this is great for free to play, but she was arguably the best support in the game because she was the best healer, if I'm not mistaken, but also her synergy between her cards and the wave mechanic, where she's able to provide AP, but she's also able to provide healing, and then just incredible buffs and support. So Mika was a good character overall that's very universal. You could put on any team and she's going to be beneficial for you. So Mika is one where you get her, you invest into her, she's free. You should definitely do that, especially once again as a free-to-play player. Be able to get dupe server is going to be incredible. So I agree with Mika being in the double S tier. Now we have Mei Lin. Now, some may argue Mei Lin should be in the S rank, and I wouldn't argue with you against that, but I could see her being double S. I did have Mei Lin. I used her in a mono passion team because she does provide passion weakness. She buffs herself. I believe she gives herself critical rate, if I'm not mistaken. So an incredible damage dealer. She hits really hard, melts health bars. So I think Mei Lin is an incredible character. If you put her in double S, I'm not going to argue with that. I think she's really, really strong. And then Hugo. I think Hugo is a sleeper. I think people might have been underrating Hugo a little bit. I see Hugo being in the double S because his potential was there. I got him late in the game, so I didn't get to use him extensively. But the little bit that I did use him, he felt incredibly strong just as a good damage dealer because he provided follow-up attacks. And I could see him being very synergistic with specific combatants like Tressa, for example, who can give you DOT and then he has follow-ups. The damage is going to be off the charts. So Hugo, I think, is a very strong character, a very strong main DPS. If you do get him early on, invest into him, be happy with it, because I think he's going to pay dividends in the future. Now, moving over to the S rank, we have Nia. I agree with this. I think Nia is a great 4-star. She's like a support slash sub DPS. She can do damage. She's able to boost the damage of your combatants as well. She's a really, really good character, and I think she's strong in her own right. So I like Nia in the S tier. Maribel, I've said this before. I felt like Maribel was an S tier character, and that's because of the shields she's able to provide. Shields are very important in this game. It helps you to prevent mental breakdown, to be able to get less health and things of that nature. But Maribel with her ultimate, or I should say her ego skill, and then her cards and her counterattack, and then being able to provide hundreds of shields, she makes you incredibly tanky as a Vanguard and as a 4-star. So Maribel, great character. Celine, or is it Celine or Celine? I always forget if it's Celine or Selena. You can let me know in the comments down below. I had this character. I think she's strong as well. If somebody said A tier, I wouldn't argue that, but I wouldn't argue S tier as well, because she's able to buff herself with the marks. She's able to do pretty incredible damage herself. She fits well in a mono passion team, once again paired with like Mei Lin and a Veronica. Celine or Selena was doing really well in that comp. And I think she's a great, like, you can make her a main DPS or a sub DPS, and I think she has some pretty decent supporting capabilities. So I do like Celine. I think she can be S or A tier, one of the two. Moving on to Beryl. I didn't get to use Beryl because I got her late. I didn't get a chance to build her up, but I've heard really good things about this character. I can't really speak on it, but I've heard really good things about her. So S tier, that's fine with me. Moving on to my boy Lucas. Now, I didn't get to use Lucas as well. I got him late also. But from what I could see within his kit, with the cards that he provides, he does, if I'm not mistaken, more damage depending on the amount of shields that the enemy has. I could see him being a late end game monster, because I could see the enemies, as you get more closer to the end game, getting more shields, because it's going to be harder to break through those things. So Lucas being able to do more damage depending on the amount of shields that the enemy has, I think is going to be incredibly good for end game. So I could see him being good in that scenario. I just didn't get a chance to use them specifically. So S tier, fine with me. Moving on to Tressa, another free-to-play character. That's one thing that I have to say about Chaos Zero Nightmare. The free-to-play characters that you get in the beginning are all really strong in their own right. Tressa being one of them. If you once you get her, you should definitely invest into her, especially as a free-to-play player. She is incredible with the DOT that she can do, the amount of damage, the synergy within her cards. She has a one card that's going to go ahead and give her shadow daggers, and then shadow daggers you can do damage with, and then the DOT is incredible. So Tressa is a great free-to-play character. Definitely build her up, especially with dupes. She's going to be even better, of course. Tressa very strong. I do agree with the S tier. Moving on to the A tier, we got the Uchiha himself, Luke. I didn't get to use Luke, but he seems like a good main DPS. A tier, that's fine. I can't really speak on it. Owen, another free-to-play character. I didn't use Owen. I didn't invest into him just because I'm not a big fan of Owen. Not because he's not good, but his design kind of plain to me, kind of bland. So I didn't use him for that reason, but I do see where he can be good because he has some AoE. I think he has like a ramp up within his damage. I'm not too sure. But A tier is fine, right? Moving on to Magna. Now, this one is one that I can't totally speak on because I didn't have Magna at all within the game. But I feel as if she's very similar to Maribel, just a 5-star, where she provides tons of shields as a Vanguard, but she does counterattack. So I don't know in comparison to Maribel how strong she is, but I feel like being a 5-star and doing pretty similar to what Maribel does, she should probably be in the S tier with Maribel. That's just my logic, but I'm not too sure. Once again, I didn't get to use her. That's just what I would think. I would think she would be in the S tier. Now, moving over to Orlea. Now, I had good amount of time with Orlea. I think Orlea is a sneaky S or double S pick. Now, in the beginning, she might not feel that way because I think she's going to be more beneficial and you're going to see more potential out of her towards the end game. Or once you invest into her a lot more and you have the correct partner on her. She has one of the most unique mechanics in the game with the creations, being able to retain them and evolve them like freaking Pokemon or Digimon. Orlea is a really cool, unique character. And I think because of that mechanic, she's going to be very strong later in the game. Like if you pick her up in the beginning, she's not going to feel as good as like a Khalip, where you could just throw cards out, do stupid damage, and gain a bunch of shield. Very easy to use. Orlea is going to be more of a technical character that takes a little more IQ to use, being more precise with the type of cards that you use, having a little more strategy. But once you get that nailed down, she's going to be incredible for you. I think a sneaky pick to ramp up. I think her stonks are going to ramp up. Let's put it that way. Anyways, moving on to Veronica. I agree with Veronica being in the A tier. I used her a lot, once again, in that mono passion team. I think she has a strong mechanic with the ballistics and being able to do the follow-up attacks. A tier is fine with me. I'm okay with this. If you want to argue S tier, you can. Now, Cassius is one that I'm going to argue for the S tier. And I think Cassius is an incredible 4-star because, once again, he's very unique. The only character that can do what he can do, if I'm not mistaken, being able to just pick a card out of your deck, any card, is a huge mechanic, in my opinion, a very valuable one. And then if you get his E1, you can even look in your graveyard. So you can look in the graveyard and you can look in your deck for any card that you want to go ahead and select and be able to use. His cards are pretty low cost. He gives you tons of cards. You're drawing cards all the time with him, and he can do some pretty good damage himself. So Cassius, I think, should be in the S tier personally, but that's just my own opinion. And then Renoa. If you want to argue Renoa in the S tier, that's fine. I didn't have any playtime with her because I didn't grab her, unfortunately. But I think she is a strong damage dealer. I think she has good follow-ups with the, what is it, Dirge bullets, if I'm not mistaken. Paired with Hugo, I think that team's going to be nasty. So it just really depends, right? If you want to put in an S tier, you can. But I didn't have any hands-on experience with her, so I can't really speak. Moving on to the B tier, we have Rin. This might be controversial. I didn't get Rin, unfortunately, once again. I really wanted her. That was like the main character I was going for, but I didn't get her. I've heard decent things about her. Like, she's pretty niche in terms of you have to like do specific things to get her damage built up. But I heard once you get her there, she can hit really hard. So you let me know about Rin. She might be arguable for A tier, but I'm not too sure. Now, Ray. I'm going to put this out there. I'm the biggest Ray fan. I'm Ray's #1 fan. I'm a Ray fanboy, if you will. I love Ray. But if I'm being unbiased, B is fair. I think it's fair because she is niche, right? She's a controller, so she's sub DPS / support. She can buff basic cards damage. She's able to do really good damage herself. I love her ego skill, the tenacity, the shield break that you can do on it is insane. So you can make some really cool plays with that. But Ray she is a bit niche, right? I will be investing into her and building her up, and I think she gets tremendously better with dupes, but you may not find that value in the beginning with her. So B tier is fine. I'm okay with that. Moving over to Kayron. And now this is one that I have to argue for. I had Kayron. I had extensive use with Kayron. I think he's at least S tier. The amount of damage this guy can do is absolutely insane. He's got decent AoE, you know, with one of his cards, and then if I'm not mistaken with his ultimate that hits tremendously hard. He's just one of the better damage dealers in the game, and he definitely ramps up tremendously. I think Kayron should at least bare minimum A tier, but I would argue S tier personally. I think he's a very strong damage dealer and can be very good for your account. So that's my personal opinion with that one. And then we have Amir, not good anywhere in the C tier. Now, Amir is going to be the free character that we get from the milestone, reaching the pre-registration reward, which is great. Amir character design is double S tier, but kit-wise, C tier is okay. I would at least put her in the B tier. I think she has some value with the metallization mechanic, being able to do some decent damage, provide you some shields. I think she's decent, right? Not the best character by any means. A decent free-to-play option, but I think out of free-to-play characters, she's probably arguably the worst. I think Owen, Tressa, Mika, they're all better than her. But if you want, you know, if you just really like Amir, you could definitely build her up. I would say at least B tier. I really don't think there's too many characters or any character at all that's bad in general. But anyways, that is the tier list. Those are my thoughts. Those are Shizukira's thoughts. Once again, don't take it too seriously. We want to hear yours down in the comments below. But this was just a fun video to go ahead and check this out. This was really a video to introduce you to this doc sheet that's going to be in the description down below for you to take advantage of, and to give all the credit to Shizukira. Go ahead and give them a sub on their channel. Fantastic content creator. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys for all the support. I do truly appreciate it. We're going to continue making CZN content. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. I'll see you all next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.